Hello everybody, Lotus for Life here, bringing you guys a brand new video discussing the all-new OCG ban list, along with good old Boomer and Hegel. That was your cue to introduce yourself, guys.
Hi.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I've got nothing at that point. He kind of topped the introduction. I think I should leave the video now. I can't top that.
I told you I had one saved up.
No.
That was just, I wasn't expecting that, okay?
Okay.
Like, I just want everybody to know we were discussing how, like, Hegel introducing himself by burping because he burped like 5 seconds before we hit record earlier. And, like, I was not expecting him to go that strong with it. Props. Okay, yeah.
In any case, so, as you guys all know, it has been 6, almost 7 months since we got our ban list, and in that time span, Japan has gotten 3 of them with this new one. And it's a very interesting ban list, and I think it's a pretty good ban list overall. So I guess I'll go ahead and read it off, and then we can discuss our thoughts on each section.
And let's go section at a time.
Yeah.
I kind of want to read some of these off too, and
okay.
I'm not sure if Hegel will want to, but Hegel totally should. But yeah,
well,
okay, you can start.
I still don't know what zodiacs do, so it won't be very helpful with that.
They spam crazy stuff. Anyway, so banned stuff: the Tyrant Neptune, Zodiac Trident, and Zodiac Barrage. So honestly, starting with the Zodiac stuff, I don't think Trident should have been banned. I think it should have been limited, considering the other hits to Zodiac on this list. Barrage.
I gotta say real quick, Zodiacs must have been a very, very, very obnoxious and just unfair and very unfun deck in the OCG to have them ban 2 of their cards and limit 1 of them like that. I think that's very surprising to me because I've never seen Konami, or I haven't seen Konami do that for any of our decks in a long time.
I'm gonna say this.
I can't remember the last time they hit us.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this now. Zodiacs are just as obnoxious in TCG. I don't know if you've had the displeasure of dueling against a Zodiac deck yet, Boomer, but it is incredibly obnoxious. They will usually end their board with a Zodiac Trident who can, once per turn during your first turn, destroy 1 face-up card on the field, a Daigusto Emerald, usually a Invoker, and sometimes, depending on their hand, another monster with anywhere between 1 to 3 back row. And it's super stunning because all the back row they play are stun cards. Solemn Strike, Solemn Warning, Dimensional Barrier, which is like the most obnoxious card ever. And they usually just play... It's basically a super stun deck that can also OTK and is incredibly consistent. And Trident being one of their big power plays, I really feel like that Trident should have been limited, not banned, considering the other hits on here. Barrage, though, I am completely and totally behind banning. Barrage, for those who don't know, is a continuous spell card that says once per turn you can target 1 face-up card on the field, destroy it, special summon any Zodiac from your deck, and then if it is destroyed, you can attach it to a Zodiac Xyz monster as Xyz material. You can only use each effect once per turn. It is a stupid powerful card.
Yeah. Man, though? Like, man.
Well, considering that with Zodiac Barrage, triple Tenki, triple Terror Top, and triple Rapier, you have like 9 to 12 cards to get to Rapier. And Rapier is the main combo piece of the deck because Rapier says while he's attached to an Xyz monster as Xyz material, you can detach an Xyz material from that monster that it's attached to, special summon another Rapier from deck. And
still, the fact that they went straight for unlimited to banning these cards like that quickly is like, that's surprising.
Considering the deck comprises what, like 90% of the meta right now in both TCG and OCG, it doesn't surprise me at all. And heck, it's probably closer to like 95%. Now, the biggest thing that's like oddity on here, some people probably won't really get, is the Tyrant Neptune, who, if you guys don't know, is, well, he's one of the legendary planets from the GX manga, and he said he's a level 10 with question mark attack and 0 defense, if I remember correctly, who says you can tribute any number of monsters to tribute summon him, and he gains, I believe, the total attack of those monsters. I'm trying to pull him up now on Yu-Gi-Oh! Wiki, but it's being annoying. Who basically, he gains the effects of one of the monsters that you used as tribute fodder for it, and use his effect to gain the effect of Independent Nightingale, which basically says that he is immune to all other card effects, can burn your opponent for 5,000 damage, and has 5,000 attack power. So you have a giant towers-like monster with 5,000 attack who can burn your opponent for 5,000 damage once a turn. So just sitting on it, you can just burn your opponent twice and win the duel most of the time. Now that being said, though, it's not very consistent. Tyrant Neptune is not searchable by most things that I know of, and you have to instant fusion out Independent Nightingale. Which is, I don't know. Do you want to add anything to that?
Fair point. Nope, I don't know anything about Zodiacs, nor do I know much about the Tyrant Neptune. So I will say no on this one.
I'm just gonna be like, yep, whatever he said.
Alrighty, so
they're banned for a reason.
On to Limited. I guess Boomer, you can read off this one.
Yeah, hell yeah. You know, no, I want to read out the semi-limited. Y'all can read out the limited.
Okay, I'm
gonna have more pride in reading out the semi.
Boomer hates a very certain card that has been semi-limited. So
I don't hate the card. Oh, okay. God.
Limited, Witch of the Black Forest with the new errata, Zodiac Ratpier, Blackwing Gofu to Fake Shadow, and Interrupted Kaiju Slumber. So, Witch of the Black Forest, it's mostly entirely due to the errata, which all they did was add that you cannot activate cards or the effects of cards with the same name as the monster you searched out for the rest of the turn. Which, I don't know, like, I feel like it kind of could have came back without the errata. Way too slow. What do you guys think?
I am very happy with the fact that Witch of Black Forest is back. Granted, I know it doesn't affect us in any way, but, like, I'm thinking about it from, like, the point of view, because, like, when you look at some of these cards, especially in recent memory that are slowly coming off the Banlist in the OCG, like, because of the fact that this card in particular got an errata, there's no doubt that TCG will probably get one too, only for the fact that, I mean, at some point, most of these cards have to start coming off the ban list, because otherwise we're going to have too many ban cards to a point where it's like, well, this is completely ridiculous. We need to start dwindling down on the numbers, and it's like... But, I mean, like, I don't think Witch of the Black Forest, like, if Witch of the Black Forest were to get the errata for the TCG, or when it does, I won't be surprised whatsoever for it to come back. And even then, it's just, like, thinking about it now, like, how many decks are going to abuse it? Like, honestly.
It's way too slow. You gotta get it sent from the field to the graveyard, which means it needs to either be destroyed by battle or by card effect, or you need to use it for, like, fusion material or synchro material or something like that. And even then, it's still way too slow. Almost every deck nowadays has a search card and a way to get to a card much easier than Witch of the Black Forest.
So, don't get me wrong, it's still a really good card, but, like, in these particular formats, when it's just completely different than from what the game used to be way back when Witch of the Black Forest was actually really fucking good. Now it's just like it. I don't think it really measures up to the game as it used to. Honestly, like, I don't see it having that big of an impact in the game.
Yeah. Also, Boomer, don't know if you noticed or not, but we are getting the Rescue Cat errata in Duelist Saga.
I did, and I'm hyped. I'm hyped as fuck.
We should be getting Rescue Cat.
Bro, I am hyped. Bro, Rescue Cat Dolce, I'm hyped as fuck.
Yeah,
You
and
don't even know.
The errata doesn't even make that much of a difference to Rescue Cat, honestly. I think I don't even remember what the. Oh yeah, didn't they just put a once per turn clause on it or something? I can't remember. But anyways, that's a different thing. Next limited card is Zodiac Ratpier. I think we've talked about Zodiacs enough. Ratpier is very much a card that deserves to be at least semi-limited. I feel like that limited might be a bit too harsh because you literally cannot use the effect of it anymore. Because Ratpier, as we stated earlier, while it's attached to a Exceeds monster, you can detach the Exceeds material from that monster, specimen another Ratpier from deck. So having Ratpier at 1, you can't even use its effect. Granted, though, it does have another effect where if it's normal summon, you can send a Zodiac card from deck to grave. But that literally is irrelevant, except for one card in the entire deck that likes to be in graveyard. Blackwing Gofu to Fage's Shadow. Do either of you guys know what Blackwing Gofu is?
No.
No.
It's okay. We should have researched this before. Blackwing Gofu is basically a Cyber Dragon for Blackwings, and whenever you summon him through his Cyber Dragon effect, you can get 2 Fage's Shadow tokens. I believe that's what they're called. These tokens cannot be used for a Synchro Summon or for a Tribute Summon. And while Gofu's on the field, you can tribute him and any number of other monsters you control to the graveyard, and then special summon a Blackwing Synchro from your graveyard with levels equal to that the levels of the attributed monster. The thing about Gofu is that they just recently confirmed that you can use tokens and also by extension Pendulum monsters as fodder for Link summons. And so everyone's like, oh my god, Gofu's going to be broken because he's an auto Decode Talker. He's an auto Link 3 monster. And so this is a preemptive hit, if nothing else.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. Wait, does that mean Scapegoat's going to go back to a 1?
Possibly.
Probably stupid.
Dude, Retro Pack Scapegoat's like $200 now due to the hype.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
You're fucking joking.
No.
I think I have several Scapegoats.
I will double check for you afterwards. Because Scapegoat skyrocketed.
I think I'm getting rich.
Scapegoat skyrocketed.
Oh my god.
Scapegoat skyrocketed in price after the announcement.
Yeah, the Yu-Gi-Oh community is really weird. I don't understand people. Okay. And then there's Interrupted Kaiju Slumber.
That card is...
So, Kaiju finally got hit.
Yeah. I mean, it's a Dark Hole that gets you a 3300 beat stick, gives your opponent a 2200 weakling, and lets you banish it from graveyard that searches out any monster in an entire archetype next turn. So, yeah, this card honestly should have been limited a lot sooner. As much as that pains me to say, since I really like Kaijus as an archetype, this card is definitely not a card that should be at more than 1, maybe even 2, possibly. I think there's an argument for, but yeah, it's just a stupid card.
Fair enough. Fair point.
Okay.
I think Hagel and I will probably be able to talk a bit more about the semi-limited cards because I know he knows more about the kind of older stuff than we do about the newer stuff. So we'll probably have a little bit more to say about this.
Oh boy.
Alrighty.
Semi-limited.
Semi-limited. Elemental Hero Stratos, Armageddon Knight, Fairy Tale Snow, Yo-Yo Guardian, Ignister Prominence, the Blasting Draco Slayer, Brionic Dragon of the Ice Barrier, Fire Formation, 10K, and Brain Control. Which card do I want to start on? I know which one I'm going to start on. I'm going to start on Stratos because literally the moment I read this list and thought, oh my gosh, Stratos is that too, I went straight to the comments because I wanted to see those people that are going hashtag free my Nego Stratos or oh my god, Stratos is back at 2 in the OCG. Does this mean that it's coming back in the TCG? What does this mean for the TCG? Oh my god, Stratos is coming back. Guys, first off, completely different lists, completely different formats, and completely different. Just everything is completely different. for us than it is in the OCG. Stop. 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 No more. I don't want to hear it anymore. I'm so done hearing it. It's now getting so depressing and so sad. Stop saying it.
Before anybody tries to crucify me on Boomer's viewpoint, I would like to say that I have the complete and total opposite viewpoint of him, and I would be incredibly happy to see Stratos come back.
Okay, I think Christian here, along with a lot of people, are getting confused as to where I'm coming from with this. I'm not saying I hate the card, and I'm not saying that it can't come back, nor should it come back. I'm saying that everybody's complaining about a card that doesn't need to come back because we have enough search power for heroes, and even if Stratos were to come back, it's literally not going to change anything whatsoever. And sure, people can argue that because of that reason, Stratos should come back and could come back. I'm not saying it can't come back. I'm just saying there's no need for it. I'm just saying every format, people are always bringing up the hype that Stratos is going to come back and that Stratos should come back, and it's ridiculous now. Please stop.
At this point, Stratos, I feel like, could come back to 1 for us, mostly because heroes haven't done hardly anything, and even then, Shadow Mist is the better searcher for the deck because it's a dark, which auto means that you can automatically just go into Masked Hero Dark Law, which is arguably the best hero monster in the game. And then also Shadow Mist can search out 2 different cards. Stratos can only search out 1 archetype. Granted, though, technically that archetype is split among 5. But, however, really, honestly, at this point, I would like to see Stratos back at 1, because then it would finally shut up the people who are begging. But also, of course, I do think the card could come back.
Let me ask the people something. What's going to happen when Stratos comes back? What are you guys going to do? You guys going to throw Stratos in your decks with Shadow Mist? And then, okay, if you do that, what are you going to do with Stratos? You going to normal summon them and search out a searcher? Is that what you're going to do? You're going to waste a summon to search out a search card?
No, Hero Lives, Special Summon Stratos, search out Shadow Mist, Normal Summon Shadow Mist, Mask Chains, go into Dark Law, search, set a few back row, and then kind of just stare at your board.
Who uses a Hero Lives on Stratos? Who, like, that barely happens. No.
People use it all the time for Shadow Mist.
See, that's Shadow Mist, though. When people play Stratos, they always top deck it first turn and normal summon it. I barely ever see it special summoned. It's always a normal summon card that you go to. That's a go-to normal summon. And it's a waste, honestly. Like, it doesn't make sense to me at all. We should move on before we get stuck on this, because we could be here for like an hour talking about
Stratos could be his own video, honestly.
Armageddon Night. Let's start on that. Let's go down the list.
He's at 3 Armageddon in TCG, Night. So
it does nothing. Why is it not at 3 there?
He was limited because so there's this deck called Dark Synchro, and basically the idea is to loop out your opponent's hand. It's at full power over in TCG and has done literally nothing. The only reason why it had any impact on OCG is because we have completely different formats, and the deck was more powerful over there. And so they hit it, and then they even banned Level Eater over there.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because Level Eater. Because Level Eater was a huge combo piece for the deck. And really.
Okay, can anybody here imagine Level Eater being banned? I can't think about that for a second.
It doesn't need to be. And then like it got a whole bunch of other stuff in it too. Ugh.
Okay, before we continue, Hegel, what are your thoughts on Stratos and Armageddon Night being touched?
So, honestly, Elemental Heroes don't even need Stratos anymore at this point.
Thank you, Hegel.
Oh, you're just siding with Boomer to get brownie points.
No, I've been looking at it lately, and honestly...
Okay, Christian, to be fair, you're very biased.
Hey, I love heroes.
You are very biased.
I will fully admit it.
Honestly, I mean, our metas has adapted so much at this point that even with Stratos maybe coming back, because people who, honestly, just because, OCG it's in there doesn't mean it's going to be here TCG, and we've been over that multiple times. But we've adapted so much.
I will be that guy and say that. I'm sorry, I will be that guy and say Stratos can come back to 2 or 3 in the TCG, and nothing will happen with heroes. I promise. Nothing would happen. You know what would happen? All the cards would go up in price, people would hype the fuck out of it, and then nothing will happen. Nothing will come of it. I promise. Hype will die. I'm sorry, Hagel, please continue. That was rude of me.
But yeah, anyway, it's been how many years since Stratos was banned initially?
It was banned right after Dragon Ruler format, completely
Yeah.
out of nowhere. Like, Heroes had did nothing during Dragon Ruler format.
Honestly, our meta has adapted for so long that most people won't even really consider Stratos at this point, because they have decks that don't even require it in the first place.
Well, Shadow Mist.
No, what would happen is people would consider it, and then they'd be like, wait a minute. Exactly. Shadow Mist is so much better. And people realize that whenever they test, and they're like, oh, wait a minute.
They would still
Why am I playing this again?
They would still play Stratos because it's Stratos, it's a searcher. But however, it wouldn't be as game-changing as everybody thinks it would be. If that makes sense.
It would do nothing.
Yeah.
It would literally do nothing. I'm sorry. Another search card's not going to help the deck. Another search card can't help the deck. I promise. People are just they need to calm down with the hype. Okay, Fairy Tale Snow. Or no, wait, hold on, Hagel. You didn't tell us your opinion on Armageddon Knight, or do you just not care about Armageddon?
Well, I mean, Armageddon Knight. Honestly, it's foolish burial for dark type monsters. I mean, to semi-limited, I mean, use potential, but honestly, I'm sure a lot of decks could probably do the same without it.
You know what? Bring Dark Arm Guardian back to 3, and then tell me if there's a problem with Armageddon Knight. Otherwise, calm down.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Don't give Konami ideas,
but,
please.
No, please. I will get on the ideas. Bring it back to 3. Hell, bring back all the Insectors to 3. Let's see what happens.
No.
I'm kidding. Don't do that. Nobody likes Insectors.
Okay.
Insectors is trash.
For serious, though, let's move on. Fairy Tale Snow. So, for those who don't know, this is a level 4 with 1850 attack and I believe 100 defense. And its effect is that during your first turn, you can, while it's in the graveyard, you can banish 7 cards from your graveyard, special summon it from your graveyard, and then whenever it's summoned, you can book them in a monster. This card is heavily used in 60-card mill decks because you are just able to spam them like crazy. You activate that grass is greener, you mill off like 20 cards, and then you summon your 2 snow, book a moon, 2 things, interrupt your opponent, whatever they're doing, and then, hey, look at, you have a pretty beefy monster with stupid, annoying effect that is not once per turn. Oh boy, this card's annoying.
Oh. I feel like most cards that are on the list just aren't once per turn, and really should be once per turn.
Yeah.
And I think that would solve a lot of problems.
I've dueled against a 60-card mill deck called Minerva Sworn at regionals before, and the only reason why I lost was because they would mill off a bunch of stuff, get Fairy Tale Snow Engrave, and then every time that I would try to do something, they would book them in my monster before I can do my plays. And then, oh hey, that's the end of my turn, I can't do anything. And it's really, really obnoxious.
OP.
It's so incredibly
Man,
obnoxious.
and here I thought Book-a-Moon could come back to 2 or 3. Shit.
Well, here's the thing, though.
Thanks.
Here's the thing, though. Book of Moon is a quick play spell card that if you want to use during your opponent's turn, you have to set it, okay? Fairy Tale Snow is a not once per turn monster that can self-revive itself by banishing 7 other cards and Book of Moon something.
Okay, well, Book of Moon, you don't have to set.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean?
But you also can do Snow effect during your turn. And it can happen when it's normal summoned. Snow is just infinitely better than Book of Moon. Granted, though, Book of Moon is more splashable than Snow. Snow, you have to really play. You have to really kind of play it in like 60-card variants or other super high mill decks like Lightsworns and stuff like that. You can't just throw it into like your hero deck or something.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. Go Guardian.
He's at 3 over here, and the only reason why he was still banned and then eventually limited over in Japan because for some reason they were scared of him, and the only reason why they unbanned him is because they gave him an errata where you now need an Earth tuner to summon him and an Earth non-tuner to summon him. I believe you have to have.
Do we still need that for a
So,
DTD?
I'm just gonna pop in. What's the point of having Guardian semi-limited there when we have fucking what is it? Doomkaiser Dragon at 3, and it basically has the same effect as Goyo Guardian.
To be fair, Doomkaiser Dragon does nothing here. And Goyo Guardian then was really fucking good. And the only reason it was so good was because of the fact that people used the excuse that, because it didn't specify that the Xyz materials couldn't keep the targets or couldn't keep their materials, that they can automatically keep their materials whenever you reward it. Which, honestly, if they would have just reworded that to where you couldn't keep your Xyz materials, then honestly, the card could still come back to 3 here with the same exact effect, just with that particular ruling. Because honestly, I don't get it. I don't understand why they had to change the like. You're not errataing that card at that point. You're changing the effect entirely. That's stupid.
Yeah.
It was pointless.
Well, all they did for the errata was making it to where you have to use an Earth tuner to summon it. And I double checked. You don't need Earth non-tuners to summon it. So they actually changed its summoning conditions, not its actual effect. But however, over in Japan, it was ruled for a pretty long time. Don't know if it still is. That if he kills a monster, an Xyz monster, you get to keep the Xyz materials on that monster. Don't know if that's still ruled like that, but it was for the longest time. Okay.
Konami. At this point, if it were illegal to play the card at 10, it still wouldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Like that's how bad it is now.
They made it even worse.
And then Draco Slayer. I know that card.
Oh, you do?
Literally Link Summons. Probably Link Summons. Because honestly, with Link Summons coming up, and I'm not going to be that big.
Yeah. Now, that being said, though, with how I believe it's been pretty much confirmed that you can use Pendulums for Link Summons, Pendulums won't be completely dead, and I actually plan on doing a video about that later. But, Ignister, the only reason why he's still limited, well, other than having an absurdly good effect, is because, well, it's just remnants from the Pepe format. And so it's really good to start seeing some stuff getting off of there. Because I do feel like that Ignister, considering his kind of hard summoning conditions, needing I believe he needs a non-tuner pendulum monster. Let me double check that.
To be fair, Pepe was. Yeah. To be fair, Pepe was fucking stupid.
Yeah, it was. But it was also
Pepe was horrid.
Yeah, it was also one of the few meta pendulum decks. But it was still a really stupid deck, and while I don't think everything from that era can come back, I do feel like that Ignister could. I don't think he should go any higher than semi-limited. He's still a really powerful non-targeting, non-destruction removal, and he can still net you a free monster once a turn. So I don't think he should go higher than semi-limited, honestly.
Fair point. I don't know much about Draco Slayer itself, though, so, I mean...
It's more of an engine than it is an archetype. Next.
Brionic. Yes! Bring back Brio!
With his errata that's gonna do basically nothing for him. It's basically now, once per turn, it can only target your opponent's opponent's cards. I'm still scared to death of this card whenever it comes to Mermail. Ugh.
See, I have no once per turn easily made it better. And that's why it should easily come back into the TCG if there were once per turn. I'm telling you, once per turn effects make the cards tolerable now. They should have done that in the first place. Konami doesn't think. That's the problem.
Yes, but Bionic is still able to trigger all of those wonderful Mermail and Atlantean effects, which is what scares me.
No. The reason it was so good way back when, other than the fact that it wasn't once per turn, which honestly, the only reason they had to do it once per turn is because of the fact people are so sick and tired of people discarding one card, then returning one card in the hand, then discarding one other card and return one other card to the hand, rather than now you have to do it all at once, which I like that.
Which means that if
because
I
otherwise,
break through skill, you just lost a lot of advantage.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Or Divine Wrath. You lose everything. Basically. Like, I like that. I like the fact that's once per turn now because you have a lot more to lose. It's a lot riskier. I'm behind that 100%.
Yeah.
Hagel, what do you think of Brio coming back? Have you had any bad dreams about Brio?
I've actually never faced a Brio in any form whatsoever, so...
It's obnoxious. Alone it's obnoxious. With Vermils, it's just... I shudder. I shudder to thinking about it. But now it's like, it's definitely more tolerable. I like the fact that it's once per turn. A lot.
Yeah.
Fire Formation 10 key.
It was limited in the last Banlist to try and curb Zodiac, but it did nothing, so they just put it back to 2. Ugh.
Fair enough. Fair point. Although, honestly, is 10 keys still semi-limited here?
No, it's at 3.
Okay, I figured. I don't know why they hit it in the first place, honestly.
Yeah.
Limiting 10 key for Fire Fist was stupid. It made no sense. You should have hit other things other than 10 key.
Oh, God.
It's like... And then, by far, my favorite card on this list so far that I'm very interested in. Brain Control at 2.
With its errata. Which is nice. So, if you don't know what its errata is, it's still the same thing. Pay under life points, target a monster, take control of it. But you can only target monsters that can be normal summoned or set. So you can't target monsters that can't be normal summoned or set, like Photon Thrasher. Or you cannot target any extra deck monster because they cannot be normal summoned or set. So, yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, no.
That is changing the effect entirely. That is not an errata. That is bull. I am so pissed right now.
You didn't know the errata?
No, I'm not okay. Nope, I did not know about the errata.
Oh, God.
See, here's my thought process. Even if it didn't have the errata, it's still a much more tolerable card than Snatch Steal. Which is why I don't understand why they couldn't just test Brain Control without the errata for a format versus Snatch Steal. It's literally like comparing Giant Tornado to Heavy Storm.
Yeah. I honestly think
like
that
it's still
after...
a really good card.
Yeah. After the whole debacle when Konami unbanned Snatch Steal for a format, and then they rebanned it because the card was just so stupid, I noticed that they started doing more and more of these erratas, and I think it's because after they saw that, they are now scared of unbanning things because they don't want that same whole debacle to go over again. I don't know if that's really the thought process going on over at Konami R&D, but that's what I think is going on. They're scared after everything that happened with Snatch Steal.
Hegel, what do you think of Brain Control coming back to 2?
I mean...
What do you think of the errata? Like, what do you think of Brain Control now?
I mean, it's not even Brain Control anymore at that point. It's just called a different card.
Hegel gets it, man. He's starting to understand. He understands me. He understands where I'm coming from. Like, okay, don't get me wrong. Like, I get the idea that Brain Control sure probably could have used an errata in some way, but like something like this, like where you have to, like they're literally changing the effect.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's it. It'd be like let's go to Mind Control as an example. It'd be like taking out the effect that the monster can't be tributed, or I think that's it. It just the monster can't be tributed and it can't attack that turn.
I think it can't attack directly. Let me double check.
I think it just attack. I think it's just can attack. It'd be like selecting brain or mind control and being like, okay, take out the tributed part, and now it just can't attack that turn, but it can now be tributed. You're not eradicating it in any way, shape, or form. You're literally changing the effect, therefore changing the card. This is not brain control anymore. This should be like a brain control duplication or some shit. Like, I don't know. Just change the card itself. This isn't brain control.
I mean, it's still a good card. You get to take control of a level 4, use it for an Xyz or something. But yeah, it's.
You know what I would do with it?
Yeah.
You know what I would do with it? I would side it. I would side it against a deck that only used normal summon or set monsters. Other than that, I would never main deck it. I would never think to main deck it. Because it would be such a dead card at times, because most decks now special summon out of the ass. Like, normal summons are barely a thing.
Well, here's the thing, though. It can still take control of special summon monsters. It just can only... It can only take control of monsters that can be normal summoned. So, like, for instance, Cyber Dragon, it can take over Cyber Dragon even if it was special summoned. Because you can still normal summon a Cyber Dragon. But you can't take over monsters that can't be normal summoned or set. So, like, for instance, Photon Thrasher, it says, this card cannot be normal summoned or set. This card must be first special summoned from your hand. You can't take over Photon Thrasher. And likewise...
Okay, I was wrong. It's still a good card. Okay, I didn't think about that. I didn't think about the term can be. Okay, you're right. You're right. I was wrong on that part. It's still a good card. However, it doesn't change the fact that they didn't errata this card. They changed the effect. Because they changed how you play this card. In some way, shape, or form. It's more than an errata. Like, I don't look at this as an errata because it's too big of a change. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like that...
Like, I don't know.
I honestly feel like...
I don't know, man. I have a problem with it.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from, and I really feel like that this is a discussion that we should save for another video sometime, because it is a big concern that a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players have. And heck, I remember when I first started doing these erratas, a lot of Yu-Gi tubers came out and said, hey, we don't like these. Leave the cards as they were from forever ago. Which to an extent I agree with, you know. But I do still also like seeing these cards be able to come back in some shape or form.
Hey, Gold, do you have any final thoughts on this card? Because we could sit here all day talking about it.
No, not really. Not at the moment.
Alrighty.
Okay.
So, Unlimited...
Yeah.
Artifact Moraltech, I believe he still limits it over here. Magician of Faith, we have her at 3. And Didi Lamia, we have her at 3 as well. And the only reason why she was semi-limited was because Didi's actually had some time to be meta for over in Japan. We only had DDDs be relevant in the meta for literally like a month.
Let me just say that the idea of Moral Talk coming back to 3 here is terrifying. Like, I'm not like, I don't know if it'd be a big deal now per se, but like honestly, Moral Talk is kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah, it's non-targeting destruction. It's the non-targeting part that kills me, because it's the simple fact that you can't target. So like, let's say like I summon a monster, and I have a way to, like, let's say I have 2 monsters out, like 2 heroes out, and then I summon another one. My opponent activates Sanctum, spell summons Moraltech, and I have Mass Chains in hand. I can't change Mass Chains onto the monster that he's going to destroy because I don't know which one, because it doesn't target. That is really, really obnoxious. But to the same extent, I could see it going back to 2 for us. I don't know. I mean, I know there's like a lot of people who really want to see it come back to 3 for some reason.
Because those people play the artifacts and they think it's fun, and everybody else disagrees. It's literally the same people that talk about how Stratos should come back.
Hey, I just said that Moralta could maybe come back to 2. But
I mean, I don't know how it would really affect the format, but I mean, I personally I'm not a fan of seeing Mortal Talk come back, at least at the current moment. I wouldn't surprise me if it came back in the future. Just right now, I don't want the idea of hat being a thing or almost becoming a thing again.
Oh god,
I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with that, guys. Can we not? Can we not for a couple of years?
Yeah, I agree, and also since we're going into link format soon, and the format will be naturally slower. Oh my god, if hat were to be at full power during link format,
I would build hat. I'm not even kidding.
Oh god.
I'll build hat no questions asked.
Oh god, that just gives me some.
I don't even care. I will jump on that bandwagon. Okay. Magician of Faith.
It's at 3 over here.
Let me just say, if this card were to be legal to play 15 of in a deck, it would do nothing.
I mean, it's nice being able to get back a spell card.
Man, it'd be good if it was like a trap card bringing back a spell card.
It'd be better if it was on
normal
summon.
Can you imagine? Guys, could you guys imagine Magician of Faith in spell or trap card form?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Yes. Yes. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. But yeah, Magician of Faith at 3. It does nothing.
Yeah.
To be honest.
It's way too
Hey, go,
slow.
what's your...
Oh, sorry.
I mean, remember
No,
that?
you're good.
You remember when Magician of Faith was thought to be forbidden because it was too good, or whatever people said?
Man, that was a long time ago.
Back then it was, because we actually had a lot of really powerful spells that were super generic and everything, and were just really powerful spells. You know, Monster Reborn, Delinquent Duo. Can't remember that one card, but the card that makes you pick out 5 cards from your deck, and your opponent chooses one, the other 4 get sent to grave. I can't remember what it's called. But
that was a long time before I hit puberty. It was that long. I don't want to relive those days.
But back then we had all those powerful spells. Nowadays, Dark Hole is very relevant. Raigeki is very relevant. Granted, though, they're more relevant now due to Zodiacs being really susceptible to board wipes. I don't think it's really that as much as it's the fact that the format is so freaking fast now. That a flip effect monster alone is bad already because of how slow it is compared to the format. Plus, I mean, is it really the formats are completely different. They are so different. Honestly, it's back then it was so hard to stop a flip effect monster from going off. Yeah.
It was really hard. There were very few outs to the idea of this card. Plus, again, the format was so slow because most of the time you just either normal summoning and passing.
Yeah.
Maybe on occasion special summoning a few monsters here and there, but otherwise it wasn't it definitely wasn't what it is now. Not even close.
Yeah. Honestly, the only decks that can really play Magician of Faith anymore is Prediction Princess, because Prediction Princess can not only just revive Magician of Faith every turn thanks to Tarot Tray, but they can also utilize her effect right away thanks to Tarot Tray being able to flip her face up, get a spell card, then book a Mooner back next turn. So that's the only deck, but even then they only play one if they play her at all. So Magician of Faith, it's just sadly is not a good card anymore, and I really think that Konami should really reevaluate a lot of the cards on the ban list, because there were a lot of them from forever ago that just would not be able to keep up with the current format and everything.
Christian, I know I say this, I know I use this a lot as an excuse to move on in the video, but we, honest to God, should make a video of cards on the ban list that should come off.
Yeah.
If there were allotted.
Yeah.
Honestly, we should totally do a video on that at some point.
Yeah.
And Hagel should definitely be a part of it because we're all old school Yu-Gi-Oh players.
Yeah.
We're playing back in the Dark Ages, Stone Ages.
Going back to Caveman Yu-Gi-Oh.
Back when puberty wasn't even in our head.
Alrighty,
Back
so
when puberty did.
let's move on. The last card is DD
The last
Lamia.
card.
DDs are doing nothing. They can't keep up, and they're going to be incredibly hard to play after Link format comes out. So it does not surprise me at all that DD Lamia is at 3 now.
Fair point. Okay. No opinion here. Just I don't care for DDs. It's whatever.
It's a fun deck to play.
So basically, overall, I know we based this video a lot on how we feel about it, despite the fact that we're in the TCG. But like honestly, at the end of the day, we all understand that it's a completely different game for them over there versus how it is over here for us. But honestly, like some of the stuff still kind of could potentially affect us for the fact that some of like they're not completely far off when it comes to like how their decks run over there. Like Zodiac is a very big problem over there just as much as it is for us. Most of these cards that are moving on the ban list, like coming off, were cards that we play because of the fact that for us right now, most of these cards are still banned. So the possibility of those cards coming back for us is a real option.
Yeah.
Except Stratos.
I could say something, but this...
I'm poking fun now. I'm sorry. That was a cheap shot. I apologize.
So anyways...
But, like, okay, like, all kidding aside, though, like, I mean, it's cool to talk about what the OCG is doing because the idea of potentially playing in a format like this would be pretty cool.
Yeah. And
honestly.
You never know. What OCG is doing may have some sort of similarities to what TCG might do. I know recently Konami said that the ban list for TCG will be coming soon. I personally think it's going to come out right after Duel Saga comes out. So I think we're probably going to get it like the same time as OCG, like April, early April.
I think there's a real possibility we can get it right before as well, or yeah, I mean definitely right around the time or right after, because of the fact that several of the cards that are in the set are errated cards that that are still banned currently, but will easily be coming back.
They might announce it like right before Duel Saga comes out to hype it up and get more of the sets sold, and then like have it set so that the ban list rolls out like the week after or something of Duel Saga's release. I mean,
I just want you to know, I don't need them to hype it for me. I'm still buying several mini boxes of this because there's some really cool cards in here regardless.
It's a really good set from everything that I've seen.
I'm hyped. I'm excited. And honestly, thinking about this now because of the fact that it's kind of in some of the conversation, I think the idea of the fact that we're getting this OCG ban list now, especially with so many of these cards coming off of the ban list, it gives me an idea that I think that there's a reason why we haven't gotten the ban list in so long, and I'm predicting that it's going to be a really big change. I think there's a lot of stuff that's going to happen on this ban list, and that's why they took so long to do it.
It's going to be very, very interesting, to say the least. And I just double-checked. It comes out literally the last day of March for us. So, considering how this is the April 1st OCG ban list, we might very well be getting an April 1st TCG ban list as well. It would be very nice to see. So, yeah.
I just want to point out before we end this, I really want to point out, I think people really need to stop bitching about the fact that we haven't gotten the ban list because of the fact that, like, I hated the idea of the fact that we could be getting a ban list every 3 months. I think that's way too much. I think that's I think it makes a lot of poor choices for Konami because of the fact that, like, it can't take 2 or 3 months to decide if a deck or if a card should be hit or banned or not. Honestly, like, it should take a lot longer than that because it should have thorough testing. 2 or 3 months, it's like it may sound like a long time, but if you really think about it, Konami focuses more on the YCSs and the big regional tournaments and like what decks are top in there, and we don't get a whole lot of those per se. Like, we get a fair amount, but like for 2 or 3 months, like, really, like, is that necessary?
I feel like 4 months at minimum, because I feel like if you're stretching it out 6 months, then you run the risk of the format getting way too stale, and then people are going to get bored. Which is
let me put it let me put it to you this way. Perfect example. Say we do get the list, like in a couple weeks' time, right? Say we get the list by April, and around that time, because we've only had the invocation cards or the invoked engine for maybe a couple weeks now, I think it is. So it's like if we were to get the list now, and then we would get a new list in about 3 months or so, is that really enough time for us to decide if the invoked engine is too good that it needs to be hit? No, I think that's way too soon to have a current engine in the format for only 3 months. I think they should test it for 3 more months and have a full-on half year again. Honestly, I think more than 2 banlists is just too much. Like I don't agree with that. I get the idea that people would think that another reason why we should change the banlist is because of the fact that the game could get stale. Like I get that, but at the same time, it's like the game is so much more different now. We have so many more cards and so many more deck options. It's like, should it really take only 3 months to decide if a deck's hit-worthy or ban-worthy or not? No, because if we hit some cards, we're bound to miss other cards that should have been hit a long time ago because of what's happening very recently. I think 6 months is a much better and more accurate way of keeping track of decks. I think it could give a more accurate. Damn, I'm so bad with words. I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of the right word for it.
Okay.
Depiction? No. Just basically, it's more. They'll have more accurate versions of the ban list.
Yeah, I see where.
I'm sorry. That was a short rant, but like I felt like it kind of belonged on this list because I feel like people kind of wanted to know a bit about the TCG ban list in our eyes, and like it kind of matches because again the formats are very different, but like there are some things that are still very similar for us compared to them.
Alrighty, so yeah, I see where you're coming with everything, and this video is nearing an hour long. So let's go ahead and cut it here. Any final thoughts from you two? Boomer, Hagel.
Oh, I'm thinking.
Alrighty,
well, we could be here for 5 minutes. I'm good.
Anyways,
I
guys.
can't think of anything.
Alrighty then. So guys, thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a great day. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. See you all later. Peace out.
I'm so excited to rescue Cat.
And goodbye.